What's going on, guys? It's Cohen McAlpin with treadathletics.com here. We're going to be talking through the 3 progression walking foot series. Basically what we're going to go through is in-range sensitization of plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, ankle and foot eversion and inversion. And then we're actually going to combine that into more of a skill portion with what's called a javelin 7 walk. And so we're going to be going through basically this progression. I do recommend starting obviously at progression 1, and then over the months to past, we're going to be looking at basically first 4 weeks progression 1, second 4 weeks going to be looking at progression 2, third set of weeks there you're going to be looking at progression 3. The idea here is that we're progressively going to be adding load and ultimately going to be exposing ourselves to more and more range and training in range in all of those different positions. All right, guys, so this is going to be progression 1. We're going to start with plantar flexion. So plantar flexion, let's go ahead and get up on those toes. We're going to get up on the toes and we're going to be walking. We're not going to be walking actually gripping the floor, so I don't want to see you gripping the floor. I want to see you on the pads of your feet, basically in range plantar flexion. And the idea here is that we're going to be contracting the calf, working through that in range. Second part of that's going to be the dorsiflexion side. So what we're going to do is walk on our heels. What I want you to do is sway your hips back slightly, extend through the knees, basically feel a stretch through the posterior side or back side of your legs and calf. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and go to inversion. Now I want you to be particularly careful with these next two of inversion and eversion. So what we're going to be doing here is walking on the outsides of our feet. So you should feel a stretch on the outside of your calves or on your actual ankle. But again, there's a lot of ligaments involved. I want you guys to be careful with that. So don't be too aggressive, 12 inches at a time, 10 total yards. Then from there, we're going to eversion. Really important position here for staying connected to the rubber. What I want you doing is working on basically turning the foot in and then walking again 12 inches at a time, 10 total yards. All right, so this is going to be progression 2. We're going to add a little bit of a dynamic effort. Again, complete progression 1 for 4 weeks before doing this. So what we're going to do, go ahead, plantar flexion. We're going to go ahead and start to hop just a little bit, so it's just a little bit of a bounce, kind of like your A-skips or something like that, bouncing through those. Then you're going to get into your dorsiflexion, same idea. Basically what I'm doing is just jiggling my hips. Getting into your inversion, you're just going to start sidestepping. So you're going to be providing basically some restraint as far as trying to resist lateral pressure. So you're going to start moving to the sides. Then with eversion, same thing, pushing back and forth. Imagine kind of like you're skiing, same idea, or walking with skis. So that's going to be progression 2. Okay, so for progression 3, this is going to be the most stress on your feet, on your ankles. We're going to be moving into the most dynamic effort that we're going to be doing with this walk series. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get up for plantar flexion, and we're really going to be bouncing through, basically adding a lot, basically some knee flexion and a lot of bouncing. Dorsiflexion, same idea. Still trying to move through it, really pushing those ranges. Getting into inversion. So we're going to invert, externally rotate. We're going to show this with a little bit more of a close-up. Invert, externally rotate. And so the idea is we're going to go internally rotate and then externally rotate the tibia against that. You're going to feel quite a bit of stress. And then for the eversion portion, it's internally rotate. This is going to be particularly important for throwers. So I'm turning at the hips, basically creating a spiral through my feet. And then the last one that we're going to add in on here is going to be a 7th series for the javelin side of things. As far as just it's a javelin skill training, what we're going to be doing is transitioning from inversion to eversion. So we're going to be, and then getting very low with that, basically flexing through the knee, loading through. And this is going to be a big transition for you guys as far as training this position.